Very Merry Mousemas, written by Annie Sweet and illustrated by Patricia Srigley. 'Twas the night before Mousemas, and lost in the snow were three little mousies with nowhere to go. Bitsy and Pipsqueak and wee Squeaky Jack shared out the last scraps of food from their pack. "At least we're lost together," Bitsy said, kissing Squeaky Jack on his cold, damp head. She handed him the last crumb of her meal, ignoring how hungry her tummy did feel. And off they trudged once more into the trees, moving fast and low and trying not to freeze. Bitsy's long purple scarf wrapped her neck twice, but her jutting out ears were soon coated in ice, while wee Squeaky Jack was snug in his bed, pulled by Pip on a banana peel sled. With Merry Mousemas only a day away, they had to find a sheltered place to stay. A home with a cozy hearth would be best, somewhere to snuggle and somewhere to rest, somewhere to hang their striped stockings high, in hope that Santa Mouse wouldn't pass them by. Bitsy and Pipsqueak and wee Squeaky Jack kept plodding through the snow, clearing a track, when off in the distance, down a little slope, glowing windows lit their hearts with hope. They hopped on Jack's sled and raced downhill, faster and faster and faster, until the sled bounced too high and off they flew. Pip flapped her arms like the birdies do, but she had no feathers and could not fly. We all know mice don't belong in the sky. When she landed and rolled to her feet, the house was so close she could feel its heat. Mouth-watering aromas wafted by, of cheese and candy canes and cherry pie. "We have found the best new home," said Pip. "This is where we'll end our long, cold trip." They followed the scent as if it was a trail. It led them through a curly metal rail. It led them through a crack in a stone wall. It led them through a hole so very small, even the little mice had a tight squeeze to enter the house that smelled like cheese. Inside the home was warm and dark and still, so they crept to the kitchen to eat their fill, imagining the grand feast they would share. But at the door, Pip cringed and said, "Beware." They froze and stared at a cat in a bed that was pillow comfy and green and red. Every mouse knows that cats are so mean, they are worse than monsters on Halloween. At least this cat was sleeping, quite unaware of the three mousies trespassing in its lair. As quiet as mice, they snuck below ground, down to the cellar without a peep of sound. Gone were the dreams of cheese and cherry pies, but in the basement they had a surprise. "It's far better here than out of doors," said Pip, drying off her tail all the way to the tip. She always tried to look on the bright side and peered around, liking what she spied. Cardboard boxes were stacked high and neat, and Pip was sure she smelled something sweet. A velvety red carpet lined the floor. Curious, the three mice set off to explore. Pip climbed the boxes to the very top and landed on a lid with a spry little hop. She wriggled inside through a narrow gap, hoping she wouldn't snap a mouse trap. Inside the box was as dark as midnight. Pip moved carefully, wishing for a light. And then, as if her wish had been granted, a globe lit up, and it looked enchanted. Pip turned in a circle, eyes growing wide, as she spotted wonders on every side. Tasty pink popcorn was threaded on a string. It looped down from above, just like a swing. And noisy noisemakers, tiny and gold, glinted in the glowing light from the globe. Neatly rolled up with red and green tags were 1, 2, 3 cozy stocking bags, the perfect size for 3 chilly wee mice with 10 toes each toe as cold as ice. There were acorns, nuts, candy canes galore. There were so many things Pip did adore. trinkets and baubles and pretty glassy balls, all crowded inside the cardboard box walls. Such a great find, Pip couldn't wait to share, and from the top of the box with great fanfare, she waved a gold horn and shouted, come see the best home there could ever be." Bitsy and wee Jack scampered up the side. They squeezed into the box, and Bitsy cried, "With merry Mousemas only a day away, we have found the perfect place to stay." At once they hung their striped stockings high and knew that Santa Mouse wouldn't pass them by. Bitsy and Pipsqueak and wee Squeaky Jack had a pink popcorn and candy cane snack. Then they played and played some more. They even tidied up, which wasn't a chore, because they decorated the walls sky blue, and Jack found something too good to be true. In the very corner of their new house stood a spiffy Mama and Papa Mouse. They weren't alive and made not a sound, but still it was nice to have them around. Mama Mouse's lacy cap and long gown were a fashionably striped orange and brown. Bitsy wished she had a dress just like it, and might have borrowed Mama's if it had fit. Jack liked Papa's bright orange top hat, and the cane he held would scare away a cat. Jack placed Papa Mouse beside his bed, while Mama Mouse guarded Bitsy's head. When the mice finally settled down to sleep, they were so tired and their sleep so deep, not one mouse stirred when the box house shook. Not one mouse opened an eye to take a look. Not one mouse noticed when Papa fell down, although in his sleep Jack did squeak and frown. On Mousemas morning, when Bitsy awoke, Jack was snoring, so she gave him a poke. "Merry Mousemas," she whispered in his ear, and he sprang to his feet with a great big cheer. Their new home smelled like Merry Mousemas Day. Their stockings were bulging in the best way. Light beamed in through a hole overhead. Rather like sunshine, Pip realized with dread. The basement should be dark as dark could be. Only in the dark could mice be safe and free. While Squeaky Jack simply watched, amazed, above his wee head the box lid was raised. A big dark paw snaked into their new house, and by the tail it plucked up Papa Mouse. Poor Papa Mouse was carried out of sight. It gave the real mice a terrible fright. Bitsy squeaked and hid behind Mama's skirt. Jack dove into the pink popcorn dessert. Pip ran in circles all willy-nilly, round and round she went, looking rather silly. Mama was mouse-napped next by the ear. Bitsy clutched her dress so full of fear she couldn't let go as hard as she tried, and Bitsy went for a terrifying ride. She came to rest atop a soft blue mat between the paws of a very big cat. It looked hungry and flexed its sharp claws. It licked its mouth and opened wide its jaws. Bitsy tried to act brave and stood up tall. "Don't you eat me today or eat me at all," she said in her loudest, squeakiest squeak. The cat crouched down low before it did speak. "I have plenty to eat in my shiny dish. I have plenty of stew and plenty of fish. I will never eat you, little gray mouse. You are a most welcome guest in my house. My very merry Catmas wish has come true. My wish was for a friend, and that is you." The cat smiled quite sweetly for a cat. Bitsy reached over and gave it a pat. She said, "Would 3 friends be better than 1? The cat said, "3 friends would be much more fun." Pip and Jack scampered close and petted its fur. As happy cats will do, it began to purr. In no time at all, they had exchanged names. Bitsy, Pip, wee Squeaky Jack, and James. It was a most wonderful Mousemas day, filled with friendship, candy picnics, and play. They played hide and seek and catnip baseball and 3 blind mice and cat race down the hall. That night when James tucked the mice in bed, he gave each one a soft lick on the head. They fell asleep in the dreamiest way, now that every day would be Mousemas Day, and happy to have a friend like James the cat. A cat for a friend, now imagine that. Yet friends can come in all shapes and sizes. Friends can even come in furry disguises. Friends can even have whiskery faces, and you'll find them in the most unexpected places. I hope you enjoyed this story. A paper copy of this book is available at wigglesworthpress.com. Thank you.